So we're going to be looking at Chapter 15. Chapter 15, the first problem we will be looking at is over here. We were finalizing a bank loan. Again, the key pieces of information over here are you're finalizing a bank loan for $200,000. And your closing fee to the bank is 2% of the loan. After paying the fees, what will be the net amount available to you for your business? So your fees is going to be 200,000 times 2% of that. So that would be 4,000, which gives your net proceeds, your net loan that would be available to you will be the 200,000 minus the 4,000 that you paid in fees, which is 196,000. So that's pretty simple and straightforward. Let's look at problem number 2. Your firm successfully issued new debt, but the debt carries some covenants. And the key over here is that you can only pay dividends out of earnings made after the debt issue, and you must maintain a minimum quick ratio. A minimum quick ratio of 1.1. Your net income this year is 70 million, your cash is 10 million, your receivables are 8 million, inventory is 5 million, you have current liabilities of 19 million. What is the maximum dividend that you could pay? Two things are key over here. That number one, you have to maintain this quick ratio, and you can only pay dividends after the debt issue has been properly fulfilled. So to do this, if you look at the formula for quick ratio is current assets minus inventory divided by current liabilities. So current asset is cash plus inventory plus accounts receivable, and then of course I have to subtract the inventory. This inventory I have to subtract, and then I will divide that by current liabilities. So this gives me cash of 10, inventory is 5, accounts receivable is 8, minus the inventory of 5, divide that by current liabilities, which is 19. So currently I have a quick ratio of 0.947. Now this quick ratio is less than the target quick ratio of 1.1. Okay. Okay. So now I have to do something over here so that I can make my quick ratio go up to 1.1. This should be 1.1, not 1:1. 1.1. Okay. So for our target quick ratio, is 1.1. This implies that it is 1.1 times current liabilities, essentially I'm multiplying the current liabilities, is equal to current assets minus inventory. So current liabilities is 19, so 1.1 times 19, 1.1 times 19 is 20.9. 20.9 is equal to 10 plus 8 essentially, right? Because this and this cancel, so I'm left with 10 plus 8. 10 is my cash, this is my cash, and this is my receivables. Of course, 20.9 is not equal to 18, right? That means I have to do something over here, something on this side, so that I can make this right-hand side equal to 20.9. Right now, on my right-hand side, it is 18. So how do I go from 18 to 20? How do I go from 18 to 20.9? So to go from 18 to 20.9, what should I do? I have to increase my cash holdings. This is the place where I can make an impact, because where is cash coming from? Cash will come out of your net income. So you have 70 million left over. I have to hold some portion of it back before I pay out dividends. And how much should I hold back? At the very minimum, I have to increase this from 18 to 20.9. That means it is 2.9. That means I have to increase cash by 2.9 million. So if I increase cash by 2.9 million, then dividends that is left would be 70 minus 2.9, which would be 70 minus 2.9 would be 67.1. That will be my dividends that's left. So you have to kind of work the logic of the problem through. The formulas are pretty simple. We're using something that we have seen before in the financial ratio analysis, but applying it in the context of how to manage our debt levels and how to manage our debt covenant. So this is a good example of how to manage the debt covenant. The debt covenant was set at 1.1. I have to maintain, debt covenant requires that I have a quick ratio of 1.1. Now I have to manipulate my things inside so that I can attain that level of 1.1. Okay, so let's take a look at problem number 7. Question number 7 tells us that a company that issued a callable bond. It is a callable bond, but it is also issued at par for 3 years, 5% coupon, semi-annual coupon payments. The bond can be called at par in 2 years or anytime thereafter on a coupon payment date. It has a price of $99. What is the bond's yield to maturity? So this is somewhat like the bond formulas of bond problems that we have done before. So the first thing I have to calculate is my coupon, which is equal to my payment. And coupon is 5%. It's a 5% coupon bond. So 5% off 100, assuming that the bond has a par value of 100. So 5% of 100 is 5. But since this is a semi-annual bond, so there will be 5 divided by 2, which will be 2.5. What's the future value? Future value is the par or par value is my future value, which is 100. N, number of periods is 3, but since this is semi-annual, so we will double the number of periods to 6. And we have the price of the bond, B0, price of the bond, or present value, as 99. So what do we now have to do? We have to compute IY. We have to compute IY. So we go to our financial calculator over here, clear everything, second, clear TVM, 99 minus, sorry, clear this, 99 minus is my present value, 100 is my future value, 2.5 is my payment, okay, and 6 is my N. I'm going to compute IY, which is 2.68. So this is my yield to maturity. My yield to maturity. What is the yield to call? Yield to call is based on the fact that the bond can be called at par in 2 years. So what does that mean? It means that now the N is not 3. It can be called at 2 years. So this becomes 4. Par, it also says that it can be called at par, so the par value remains at 100. Okay. The present value of the bond, the price of the bond is still 99, so I will have to recompute IY. So I go back over here. All I need to do is clear everything, change the N to 4, and then compute IY. And this is 2.76. Now this 2.76 over here and 2.68 over here both are semi-annual because I'm calculating everything in semi-annual terms. So to get the annual yield to maturity, this would be in the first example, the yield to maturity part would be 2.68 times 2, 2.68 times 2, which would be 5.36, and this would be 2.76 times 2, so the yield to call would be 5.54. That's yield to call, YTC, and this is YTM. Okay. So that's problem number 7. I'm going to skip this part, yield to worst, don't worry about it. Problem number 9. Bond has a face value of 1,000. It's a conversion ratio of 40. You estimate the transaction cost to be 3%. What must be the price of the stock in order for you to consider conversion? So number of shares received in is 40. That's the conversion ratio. Number of shares to be received is 40. The cost of conversion is 1,000 times 3%, so 1.03. Total cost will be 1,030. 1030. And then the required price per share would simply be 1030, which is the total cost inclusive of conversion, divided by the number of shares, which is 40, which gives me a share price of 25.75. Suggesting that if the stock price goes above 25.75, then it would be worthwhile for me to convert my bonds into stocks. So at 25.75, you're indifferent. Any stock price above 25.75 would be of great benefit to you to convert your bonds into stocks. Okay, so that pretty much ends the problems for chapter 9. The problem number 10 is very similar to problem number 9, so I don't want to go over that. So that ends the problems for chapter 15.